here's a company that's kind of been in free fall for a while. And again, forgive me, I'm sick and I'm going to talk about stuff that I like. Motorcycles. Maybe one of the, well, I don't know, one of the most recognized names globally, Harley Davidson, has talked for a few years about electrifying and the future of Harley and what the Harley's going to do. And they've shown some concepts. They had a Livewire, and they've now announced that their Livewire electric motorcycle will be coming out in August of this year. It has between 88 and 140 miles of range. It goes 0 to 60 in like 3.1 seconds, 3 seconds. And it costs a mere $29,799 base price. This is why Harley's going out of business very, very soon. Thank you, Tony.
Yeah.
There's it's a nice looking bike, but I just want to make a point here. Now, everybody knows somebody who owns a Harley, and it's by no means, thank you, that one right there. Yeah. It's by no means a monolithic group. You know what I mean? It's not, but let's be clear. The average Harley owner is an older white guy. And by older, I mean older than me. And folks, you know what I mean? Like, I'm saying something. I had an interesting conversation with a Harley dealer here in San Diego a few months ago, and he said something that I thought was revelatory in a way. He said that the biggest challenge that he faces as a dealer and that Harley faces is that all of their customers have already bought their last motorcycle.
Ooh.
Wow.
Sounds like Buick and Lincoln.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I can't help but agree with him. Harley has done an amazing job of working that group, of working that culture and reinforcing that and building that. That Harley owners group is really an amazing, efficient machine. But that said, it's never really reached out to anybody other than that really old guy who, you know, has ridden Harley all his life. And he always has one in the garage, and he puts on his $500 chaps and his $700 jacket, and he goes out for an afternoon and rides a few miles. Mm-hmm. Now, you notice the one thing that I haven't talked about is range anxiety. Mm-hmm. There's no way that current Harley owners are going to want this bike. It's not their riding position. It's not their style. It's not loud pipes save lives. There's nothing that's Harley about this. So the idea that Harley's going to start over from scratch with a $30K motorcycle. Wow. I mean, ballsy. I'll give them that. It is hugely aggressive, but maybe not the smartest thing in the world.
Maybe this is their Matthew McConaughey. Trying to bring back the brand, make it younger.
Yeah, but is that really helping Lincoln? Like,
I didn't say it did.
Yeah, I mean,
how many people do you know that have gone out and bought a Lincoln? Right, like
only people who are already doing it.
Well, and let's look. You know, there's been a few articles this week that I've read. In fact, we've talked about younger people not adopting cars as quickly, and that is actually not quite as true as we'd like it to be. But I don't see a lot of younger people going, oh my God, $30,000 for this motorcycle. How can I not want it? If you wanted an electric motorcycle, you could go buy a Zero starting at like 16 grand, and they're amazing bikes. And it's not, ones. I'm sorry.
That's for the new ones. If you get like last year's stock or a used one, it's even cheaper.
Yeah, not much cheaper, but
not much, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're expensive bikes, but
but millennials ain't going to buy a $30,000 motorbike when they're not even buying $30,000 cars.
Yeah, they're not going to buy $30,000 anything.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I'm not sure who Harley's making this for. I think it really just smacks of desperation. And if they had made a cruiser style bike, then I could see some people going, okay, it's not, it's styled like I'm used to this, but no, it's like this. Yeah. Nobody, what? Come on.
And you know what? I have to admit that I didn't even think of that until you mentioned it. I didn't think about the seating position.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very not Harley.
So they're really trying to cross two divides at once. And that's going to be crossing one divide is tough enough, but they've lined up two in a row.
Yeah.
Well said, sir. Well said. Yeah, I don't know what they're. I honestly, it just smacks of desperation to me.
It's more European and Japanese style than the American style.
Which again, like, why wouldn't you build the bike
that works for you already?
For the image and the constituency that you have. Now, again, not that 70-year-old Harley riders are going to go out and buy an electric bike for 30 grand. Probably not. And all of them are going to complain about the range, even though the range is immaterial. 90% of those old codgers ain't out riding more than 80 miles anyway. So they trailer their bike into Sturgis or whatever. Now, if you have a Harley and you ride it 300 miles in the weekend, I'm not talking about you. Okay.
Not the Iron Buds.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I get
but even a gas Harley, what is 150-mile range on a tank? It's not huge.
That's a good question. Yeah, it can't be that much, right? Because that thing ain't getting
tank
gas
and it drinks gas.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, this is a traditional Harley Davidson.
Yeah,
this is what you think of someone out, and you see the mountains, and like they're around the Grand Canyon or whatever, and they're cruising.
Yep.
Is that from the 70s?
No, that's not.
I mean, that's a new one, but I mean, is that where the style's from?
It hasn't changed since the 50s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, getting back to, this picture, and I have to resize it to make it, larger. But I mean, you're exactly right.
That's a real
Russell.
comfortable way to sit for the afternoon.
Yeah. See, and I mean, you're absolutely right. I'm not a bike rider. I didn't even think of this, but yeah, the difference between these two styles is absolutely night and day.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it can't work. I'm not seeing it.
I mean, they'll sell 4 or 5 of them.
I'm sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, somebody will buy them and put them in the
Somebody's
garage.
Some hipster who's got the money and has a commute in California who can lane split and do the 0 to 60 in 3 seconds and hopefully not die. But
yeah, of course, for half that price, you can do it on a 0, and it doesn't have all that bulky fake gas tank bullshit that the Harley does and everything else. It's designed to be an electric bike. It's not an electric bike masquerading as a gas bike.